Hey, JaCoby, congratulations and welcome to Philadelphia.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll get started here with Rob Kestner and then Ed Kratz.
Okay.
Hey, JaCoby, welcome to Philadelphia. I was going to ask you a football question, but based on that smile, I got to ask the most obvious question. How excited are you to hear your name called? What was it like for you? And what do you think of coming to Philadelphia?
It was a dream come true. I was sitting down. I was talking with my trainer, and we were just kind of talking about the moves that are being made, and we saw Philly's pick come up, and my phone started ringing, and I saw the area code, and I was like, man, I said, this might be it. And he was so happy. He walked off, and literally as soon as I got off the phone, tears just came out of my eyes. And, I'm just really excited. It's a dream come true. I'm able to come to Philly and play in front of some really loyal and really really good fans, supportive fans. So I'm ready for it, and I'm ready to tackle and contribute any way that I can.
Go ahead, Ed, and then Les.
Hey, JaCoby, congratulations. I just see that they have a linebacker listed under your name there. Linebacker, safety. Do you have a preference which you play? Have you played much linebacker?
I don't have a preference. At the end of the day, my thing is about coming in and being able to contribute any way possible. If they have me come in and they want me to play linebacker, or they want me to play safety, regardless of what position they want me to play, my job now is to contribute to the Philadelphia Eagles defense. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that to the best of my ability. And what they label me as, or where they see me playing, that's my coaches, and that's the front office's job. And for me, it's just to come in and do the tasks that they give me.
Go ahead, Les, and then Bo.
Yeah, continuing on that theme, well, one thing real quickly, the C is capitalized, right, in JaCoby?
Yes, sir.
Okay, want to make sure I had that. All right.
Oh, yeah.
So on the where you're going to play the linebacker part, how do you see that? I mean, I know you said you do whatever, but how do you think that's a good role for you if they make you kind of a hybrid linebacker? There are a lot of those kind of guys in the league now. Have you thought about that a lot?
I mean, I think that's that's what I really did at LSU. I really did some of that at LSU. I just had the safety title. I have a before the at LSU and before the draft process, I always have a theory where football is becoming kind of like basketball in a sense, where it's becoming positionless, where it's all about matchups. It's all about getting this guy on another guy, and so now defenses are getting guys that can do just about a little bit of everything. And it's kind of getting to the point now to where all these guys are playing these different positions. You don't know what to call them. So I don't get into the the label. At the end of the day, the Eagles organization, and hopefully when I come to Philadelphia, the fans just know that I'm a football player. I love football, so I can you can label me as a D tackle, but at the end of the day, I'm on the football field, hopefully making plays.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Bo, and then Zach.
Hey, JaCoby, we see the thing behind you. You said you're with the trainer. Are you at the LSU facility? Is that where you are?
Well, I'm not at the LSU facility. I'm actually in a facility in Covington, Louisiana. I'm at Limitless Performance. That's where I've been training for the combine. The pro days, and so I just decided to have my friends and family here to watch the draft with me. This is where all the hard work was at for 3 months, and I felt like it was right to be able to reap what I sowed here.
And then if I can ask you one more question about the the linebacker safety thing. So have you talked to Nick Rallis, the linebackers coach? Is that the person you've been interacting with?
Yes, sir. So that's who I've done my Zooms with. We did some, we watched some film, and and the thing is, he just basically kind of picked my brain on my football IQ. He really never just, we never just watched film and he was like, tell me what the wheel does and that's it. He wanted to see if I knew the entire defense and how I learned and stuff like that. So I think that was just an interesting approach that he took. But my Zooms was with Coach Nick.
Thank you.
Zach and then Ruben Frank.
Hey, JaCoby, if I can fire two questions at you. First, is there a hybrid player that you see in the NFL who you think is most comparable to the way you play? And then if I can ask you about a new teammate of yours, what's it like to try to cover Devontae Smith or be in the secondary against Devontae Smith?
Well, I'm going to answer the second one because that's the easiest one. I'm glad he's on my team. I'm glad that I have to try to go against him in practice, and that's not so much as public as the game. Because he's somebody like I said in Zooms when they asked me who's the hardest person that I've covered in 2020 or the defender in 2020, and that was Devontae Smith hands down. Just simple because he can run every route. He makes every route look the same, and we hear it often. He's a quarterback at receiver. When he's running the crossing routes at Alabama, he knows the holes and the gaps in the zone. And believe it or not, a lot of receivers don't know that. So he knows when to sit down, or he knows when to idle his speed back to appear open for his quarterback. So I'm happy that Devontae Smith is on my team. That's one less guy that I have to worry about covering in the game, in a sense, in this draft class. The first question, somebody that I like looking at, of course you have really and truly the first guy is Derwin James. That's kind of more of a safety linebacker type deal with him, and he's really good at that. A lot of guys don't give him credit over in Arizona, but Budda Baker, somebody that he covers, he tackles, he blitzes. I think he's a very underrated guy. I don't think he gets a lot of credit that he deserves. And another guy that I think that's really, really good comes out of LSU is Jamal Adams. Like I said, he came in as all these guys are listed as safety, but if you go into their organization, you see that, they do everything. Sometimes they may be with the linebackers because this week they're in the box and they're taking on tackles or they're taking on guards and stuff like that. So guys like Jamal Adams, come in and, he gets, he breaks the DB sack record. So guys like that is, who I watched when I was at LSU, and I plan on watching now. Going on in my career. You never get too good to watch film on other guys because there's always something to learn.
Go ahead, Ruben and John McMullen.
Hey, welcome to Philadelphia. 2 years ago was such a dream season for you guys, and everything went right for you as a team and for you individually. How challenging was this past season with everything that went on? Obviously it was much different. How challenging was it for you to kind of deal with everything that was happening? And a lot was made of your role changing, and you were in the conversation to be a first or second round pick at one point. And obviously what happened with the season changed that. How tough was all that to deal with?
The stuff with, the draft and all that, that comes with it. But the one thing that, you don't go into a season wanting to just break 500. You don't go into the season with the goal of just being 5-5. So I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys and say that, that I was excited or I was happy with how the season went last year. But I am going to sit here and tell you guys that I'm excited on how we finished, how we responded to adversity, how our young guys stepped up. I'm the first one to say that some of these guys, the young guys at LSU were put in a rough, situation coming in. These are 17, 18-year-old guys that are asked to play 100% SEC schedule with little to none off season, with all new coaches, and they're really just thrown into the fire. So I have the utmost respect for those guys, and I was really proud to see how those guys how they grew up and matured, and I'm really excited for them, and I think that they are going to really benefit from that.
All right, we have time for a couple more, so we'll go John, Martin, and Rob.
Hey, JaCoby. Talking about LSU, LSU players tend to be very prideful of their time in Baton Rouge. We just had Jaylen Mills here for 5 years. I was curious if you built a relationship with him and if you learned anything about coming to the NFL from him.
Oh yeah, Jaylen, he always came back to LSU, and he always talked, and he always spoke his mind. There's countless things that that you learn from those guys that come back. He's given us speeches, and he's told us things that he's seen when he was while he was in Philly. Like you said, all those guys that keep touch with LSU. I mean, I remember Jaylen came back, and I want to say it was my sophomore year, and we were good. We were New Year's 16, but Jaylen basically pointed out things that we didn't even think about how we carried ourselves and how all that stuff has something to do with on the field. I mean, he talked about us parking in handicap or parking where we're not supposed to be, and how really and truly all those little things can carry onto the field. And things like that is what stuck out to me when Jaylen always came back, because of course he taught us technique, he taught us things that he's learning in the NFL, but it was little things like that can separate you not only as a person, as a guy on the field, but as a person off the field.
Go ahead, Martin, and then Rob.
Hey, JaCoby. I saw like you came out of high school as a wide receiver, and you played at LSU as a freshman there. Like, what led to the transformation to defense, and how were you about doing that? Was that something you wanted to do, or did the coaches kind of bring that up?
Right. I mean, so in high school, I played just about everything. I played receiver, running back. For me, like I said, with now, I'm gonna do everything that I can to be on the field and stay on the field. And it carried over to college. Coach O and Austin Thomas, they asked me to actually, because I came in as a safety, so they asked me to move over to receiver because of depth. So I moved over, and it was something that I did. It was a short conversation. It was, I want to say maybe a 5-10 minute conversation, because Coach O, he was, I guess he didn't, he wanted to make sure I was okay with it. But after he asked me, I was like, sure, anything to do to get on the field. And we had some depth issues later in the season at safety that year, my freshman year. And, he came and asked me again, and I did it again. A lot of guys, I say a lot of guys are quick to say that they're a team first guy, and they put the team first, and they're willing to do whatever it takes. I say that I've actually have proof in the pudding. I've done it. I say it, and I've actually have proof that I am a team first guy. I'm willing to put myself, second to the organization. And I think that's how every guy is, and that's how every championship program is.
We'll end here with Rob.
That's the perfect segue into the question I was going to ask, because, when we spoke to the Eagles brass about the decision to draft Davante and to draft Landon Dickerson, and we haven't talked to them about you yet, but they talked about culture and how they set the tone for a culture. And, Davante would be the kind of guy who would play gunner if needed. And even thinking about playing corner when Alabama was down guys. How important is culture to what you bring? How important is the off the field part of your character in terms of what you're going to bring to this franchise?
Well, culture is everything. If you don't have a belief system, if you don't have core values, we're just a bunch of guys out there just playing for ourselves, and that's never good. I don't care how much talent you have on there, that's never good. So establishing a culture and establishing a core belief within the team is a really big deal. For me, like I said, that's at the highest value. It's always about, being, of course, being drafted to the Philadelphia Eagles is a big deal. You get the jersey, you got your name on the back, but what people have to realize is that you're not only representing your family, but you're representing a multi-million-dollar organization. You're representing a city, and sometimes in some cases a whole entire state. So guys have to realize that it's bigger than them. So what you do off the field, what you do when the camera's not around, is important. I mean, literally my high school secretary is here to celebrate getting drafted with me, just because how I carry myself is how you treat people, and in return, people will treat you with respect if you give it. So I'm big on carrying myself in the highest manner, because I'm not only doing that for me, but I'm doing it for the last name on my back, and I'm also doing it for the organization that that chose for me to represent them.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you so much for your time, JaCoby.
Thank you.